Again, Haisha Mishnah Rishon Barishon. Man and wife
on page
Reish Dalet
of the
red
of the Kosher Mishpat Lama Gimel. Ches.
Says
interesting because before we said that a husband and a wife can't design each other, like you can't design the wife of the thing. But now we just added a whole Rishon.
Right. In
Instead
other
of
words,
saying Ishta Gegufa, now we've added a whole step.
right. You know, the Isha Kegufay, that applies if you're not testifying on her, you're testifying on, let's say you're testifying on your aunt, your aunt's husband, right? So then, your aunt's husband's family is not related to you, B'chol. That's zero. It stops by that. It stops there. But Isha Kegufay, then her whole family becomes like it's like a Rishon, family of a Rishon. Why? That's how it is.
Well, it's a practical. You're very close to your family.
Your wife's family, very close to your wife's family.
Not the next. Not next.
I'm not very
generation.
close to my uncle's wife's family. I've nothing to do with them. Zero zip nada. But my wife's family, if my wife gets upset with me, Hashem Yerachem, if her sister, daughter, mother is breakers with her, that I testified against them, and it's good riddance, right?
Talking about Kate.
Yeah. Why are you eating? You on a diet?
That's my kid.
That's my kid. Yeah. That's
So says the Smach. Take a look at the Smach. Lefichach eina meid lo levna. You can't testify against your wife's son. He's not your son because she's from previous marriage, right? But prisha kasavti dirli dachi kama. Kivin shemachashvin l'rishayin b'rishayin. Since we say the husband and wife are rishon b'rishayin, lefichach hu pasel levna. You can't testify against her son. You can't testify against his stepson, basically, right? Aval ben bena, his step grandson. Ben bita, or his step grandson from his wife's daughter. Kasha. Why? Should have an imay shlishi berishain. That's a classic case of shlishi berishain. And shlishi berishain we said is muta. Sherim l'dasa Rambam.
I don't see the shach.
We're in this because we're in the Smach. Page Reish Dalet. Turn the page. Right over here.
That's a shach. Nothing there.
Smach. So other side. Sorry. Okay. So says the Rambam. If he wouldn't say that a Baal and his wife is Rishon B'Rishayin, we would say man and his wife is one person mamish. Right, Ishta Kegufay. Az lo'haya ben bana imay ela sheni berishayin. Then his stepson would be. What's that noise?
You calm down a bit.
Rabbi.
Calm down a bit.
Thank you.
So if the husband and wife would be one goof, right, then her stepson would be like her son, right? If they be ishta kegufay mamish, as lo yeh ben bena imay ela sheni berishayin k'mo sheim ishta sheni berishayin vayipsulin yachad. So that's the Smach. The Smach says you and your wife are not like ishta kegufay mamish. It's like rishon berishayin. What's enough gemina? At first, you can't testify against a stepson. You can testify against a step grandson. We're on the same page.
No, because he's not on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sarcastically, your stepson.
Okay.
No, the grandson's already.
Does everyone like this? Take a look in the Taz. Ha'ish im ishtay rishon. Right under Shulchan Aruch, letter Ches, Shulchan Aruch. Ha'ish im ishtay rishon. Says the Taz. Nereli dachi kama. It would appear to me that this is what he's saying. Laitema. Do not say, given the posuk krevim masim mikoyach. Since it says in the pasuk, that's only referring to family that are genetic family, right? Don't think it means dafka genetic family, son, birth, children. The chitun kasha. You might think when someone's related to you through marriage, what's a wife? What's your stepson? You're not really related. There's no blood there. You don't really care about this guy. No one really cares about the wife. Don't say that on camera. Ella, I'll call upon him. Posel ishlishtai lefi shenene You might think the only reason why you can't testify against your wife is because when she gets money, when she makes $1 million in this case, you're going to be a happy man. Doesn't say that's the reason why you can't testify for your wife, because you're going to be nana. Because the if that would be the case, you'd be allowed to testify for your mother-in-law, for your stepdaughter, right? Because you're not going to benefit if your mother-in-law makes money. You're not going to benefit if your wife's sister makes money. Kamash Malan says the Chiddush over here. No, it's not because of your nana for the money. It's because it's also Rishon B'Rishon. It's Mamish Kurva. It's like she's your son. The Yesh Ba Psul Kurva. Wife is like a car of Mamish. Okay? V'loy Lavia says the Taz. Asma. Sifkot and Tes Zion. Did we see this yet? No. So let's see the Sma first. Loy Lavia v'loy Le'ima. Let's go to the Sma. Back to the Sma. Third narrow line. The Shulchan Aruch says you can't testify for her or for her father, right? Like, this is from the Rambam. The Rambam says you can't testify for your wife's father or your wife's mother. You can testify for your wife's grandfather. Dahainu avi chomiv, your shver's father, or avi ima, dahainu avi chamoisei. You can testify for or against your wife's grandfather, right? The loy karev, the larif for Rambam ze bechlal shlishi b'rishon. Given the Baal Mishnah and Mechash Rishon. So what's he saying? That your wife's grandfather, that's Rishon B'Shlishi, and therefore you could testify. Says the Taz. Let's go to the Taz now. Second last line of Taz. V'leila avia. Asmasiv koteh zayin machshir.
On the right side or the left side?
The right side, second last line. Hataz sifkot zayin. We just saw machshir ba'avi avia. You could testify for your wife's grandson, for your wife's grandfather, because that's Rishon B'Shlishi. V'timani. The Hakasav Ator B'Sif Tes Zayin B'Shem Rambam. The Pasal Rishon B'Sheni K'Bal Ke'ishtay. Right? You've got Rishon B'Sheni here. Your wife and her grandfather is Rishon B'Sheni. Right? And by Rishon B'Sheni, we said on the last page, you say Bal Ke'ishtay. So why should he be allowed to paskin? Why should he be allowed to be made on his wife's grandfather? Again, the Shema says you can paskin, you can be made for your wife's grandfather. Because that's Rishon B'Shlishi, right? That's Rishon B'Shlishi. That's Muta. You can be made. But it's also Rishon B'Sheni Bal Ke'ishtay. It's also your wife's Rishon B'Sheni.
Why is it B'Sheni? It's a grandfather.
Which is a Rishon B'Sheni. Her father, it's a wife's Rishon B'Sheni, right?
It's a grandfather.
Yeah, her father's Rishon B'Rishon, and her grandfather's Rishon B'Sheni. And by Rishon B'Sheni we said, you say Bal Ke'ishtay by Rishon B'Sheni. By Rishon B'Shlishi we said it's Rochaik, you don't say Bal Ke'ishtay by Rishon B'Shlishi. But every Rishon B'Shlishi with the Bal Ke'ishtay is also Rishon B'Sheni. This case of Rishon B'Shlishi is also Rishon B'Sheni, Bal Ke'ishtay. Now his wife to her grandfather is Rishon B'Sheni, and by Rishon B'Sheni you say Bal Ke'ishtay. We had a kasha? Not really.
No computer at all.
Straightforward. Chart. Here's the chart. She can't testify on her grandfather. Here she is. Her father is Rishon B'Rishon. Her grandfather is Rishon B'Sheni. Can she testify on her grandfather? No. Now, by every case you have Rishon B'Sheni, we'll say Bal Ke'ishtay. That means that his wife can't testify on her, and her husband can't testify on him because you say Bal Ke'ishtay. So why does
She can't testify on her grandfather's wife.
Because you say Bal Ke'ishtay, and it goes the other way.
Can she or can't she?
No, you can't. You can't. Anything goes this way, goes the other way. It goes both ways. Bal Ke'ishtay, both directions.
Why isn't it Sheni Rishon B'Sheni?
It's called Rishon B'Sheni, but with a Bal Ke'ishtay. It's Rishon B'Sheni with a Bal plus Bal Ke'ishtay. Your
What's the
grandfather.
difference between her
Your
and
grandmother.
her grandfather's
We'll make it simple.
wife?
We'll make it simple. Your grandmother. Can you testify on your grandmother? No. That's Richard Bashani.
Who wants to?
Can I testify my wife's grandmother?
Hold on, slowly. Can you testify on your grandmother? No, Richard Bashani. What about can you testify on your grandmother's second husband? No, because it's Richard Bashani, Balka Isha.
I mean, this is the machlokes. If you can.
But Balka Isha, l'chayr or not. That's what he said. Every Richard Bashani, you say Balka Isha by Richard Bashani. It's like one thing. So here also, can you testify on your wife's grandfather? No, it's Richard Bashani, Balka Isha. So why is the Sma saying it's Richard Bashlishi?
It's no difference if it's your wife's grandfather or your grandfather's wife. It's no
Right,
difference,
same
right?
thing, exactly.
Right.
So you're not answering the question, right?
Right. Just clarify.
Says the Sma. לפי דעס הסמה הוא כושר אפילו לבס אחויס אשתוי עצמו. Okay? It's part of the kasha. ולפי the sma, he could testify on his wife's granddaughter. The bas אחויס אשתוי הוא רשם בשני עם אשתוי. נמצא דהב אלי עם בעל רשם בשלישי. Ella, says the Taz. Akach davar ki ishtay mamash, b'makom rishon b'sheni. You have to say that it's ki ishtay mamash, b'makom rishon b'sheni. Whenever you have rishon b'sheni, it's ishtay mamash. It's not bal ka'isha. V'lekam anatik oid b'zeh ma sheshayach l'divrei Torah, v'had eloi kasav Rambam, afilu avi aviha, deloi ba legalas yesh psul krayvim, some people are also through marriage.
I mean, it makes sense. It just doesn't add up. Like your wife's immediate family, it's to show apostle to you. Or your brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law.
Yeah, definitely. No,
But one more generation away is completely not.
No shaykhs. Unless they balkish, they mamish, in which case they are. Okay.
And your brother says, your grandmother, you know who she is? No. So what do you want?
You know your grandmother is just not your wife's grandmother. Okay.
Unless she's got money.
Keep going.
Take a look in the Nesivos HaMishpat.
No, nothing there.
Ches, you got it? No. Second column, Ches. Lo lebna. Das is smad. The Laman Desfirle, the Shlishi Barushin Kosher. According to the man, the Shushan Barushin, you can be made. Of course, it's machlekes. Some say you can't be made. Some say you can't be made with Rabbanon. According to the Sma, if you hold the Rishon B'Shlishi, you can be made. So he can be made on his wife's grandfather, right? The man that's really the Rishon B'Shlishi Kosher made about leben ben Chagai. You can be made to your father-in-law, to your step grandson. The Mokum the Iflik Dara Baal Mishtai Hu Rishon B'Rishon. Here, it's already 2 generations away. Iflik Dara Baal Mishtai Rishon B'Rishon. Chen Kosher Lavi Avia. So you and your wife is Rishon B'Rishon. Therefore, you can testify for your wife's grandfather. V'Taz Chaylek. It's really the apostle. Taz says, no, what are you talking about? Taz says, Avad it's apostle. It's Rishon B'Sheni with the Balka Ishtoi. V'chein Eka. So that's how we paskin. It says in the Sivas, the Sma takes it. It says in the Sivas, the Taz takes it. Taz is 100% right. It's not Rishon B'Shlishi, it's Rishon B'Sheni with the Balka Ishtoi. Therefore, you can't be made on your wife's grandfather.
How many times does that work?
Huh?
How many times does that work? As in, can you testify on your wife's grandfather's wife?
No, because there, 2 Baal Kishtas you don't say. Except for by Sheni B'Sheni. You never say 2 Baal Kishtas, except for Sheni B'Sheni. Rishon B'Shishi, a regular Rishon B'Shishi, you don't say 2 Baal Kishtas. Because we had that over here. You only say 1 Baal Kishtas.
Sheni b'sheni.
Kosh te noshim
Don't
sh-
say sheni.
Yeah.
2 Baal Kishtas.
2 Baal Kishtas, Sheni B'Sheni lo yaminan.
Yeah, but that's sheni b'sheni.
Right, but only by Rishon B'Rishon you'll say Sheni Baal Kishtas. Rishon B'Sheni you'll say Baal Kishtas, not Rishon B'Shlishi. By Rishon B'Sheni you'll say 2 Baal Kishtas. So you're saying your wife's mother's second husband. Can you testify on your wife's stepfather? Can you testify for your wife's stepfather? So there's 2 Baal Kishtas with a Rishon B'Sheni.
You can't.
Sheni, Rishon b'Rishon.
Ah, that's a Rishon B'Rishon. Your wife's stepfather is Rishon B'Rishon with 2 Baal Kishtas. So no, you can't.
Your wife's son's.
Your wife's stepfather, but your
No,
wife's
your wife's. Your
Wife's grandfather's wife
grandmother's step
is
husband.
Rishon b'sheni, 2 Baal Kishtas.
Right. So you can't
That's
testify
the
for your
machlokes.
wife's grandmother's step husband,
That's the machlokes we had yesterday.
your step
Some people
grandfather,
say
your
yes.
wife's step grandfather. You can't testify.
Of course, again, your wife's stepson, your wife's.
Stepson, son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already.
Too far. Okay. Says the Shulchan Aruch.
Sweet cotton. Test.
Hold on 1 minute. Tess. Okay? Tess. Ha'orus, someone's engaged, right? Not like we do nowadays where you just go to a hall, you pay 5,000 shekels and you go home, nothing.
How much?
What do you think they pay? Ha'orus.
That's all?
Yeah.
That's just for the flowers.
No. Engagement party. Ha'orus
Engagement
pasal
party,
lahai,
sorry.
there's not chasidim. Ha'orus pasal lahai larus osai. You're engaged. You can't testify on your fiancé.
Why?
Aval imeid lekrever, aval imeid lekrever. If he testified for her family, ain't possible. She's not possible. See, it's not possible.
Ain't possible. Oh, so.
Now says the Ramah, ain't possible. You don't possible the testament.
I say this, that.
Not her, yeah.
I say this. Well said.
Yeah, saying.
Says the Ramah, v'davka arusa, mamash arusa mid Rabbanan mid Raisa, avashaduchem ba'alma ain't a place him. You could testify. You happen to have a fiance. You could testify. This is a bit of a pella. Maybe that's all he's negay b'dava. In other words, it's a very strong side that even if she makes money, she's not bringing it to the chuppah, right? She's spending it before she gets married. Just because. No, she might not, but there's a very strong chance he's benefiting from it. Maybe it's negay b'dava. Take a look.
Maybe. But I'm the game of
So take a look in the Sma. No, don't bother. Maybe. You testify that they're going to give her a bus ticket. You testify that they owe her 10 shekels.
Your son-in-law.
And you're getting married in 2 years' time. You're going to make benefit from that 10 shekels?
Your
No.
son-in-law to be in Yitz Hashem finds out that your daughter is earning 100,000 shekels.
So if it's tons of money, maybe he's going to end up making money from it. But if he's allowed to testify that the neighbor owes her 50 shekels. Well, he's not going to benefit from it. Smart test. If he testified for her craving, deal, because of it, imheid, shuloshin diavad, you're not allowed to testify for your fiance's family. You should be asking yourself, what? Why? Why can't you testify for your fiance's family?
Where are you reading?
We're in the smart fourth narrow line, tes zayin, v'lo lavi v'lo le'ima. Doik b'dvara, v'u b'divar Rambam. This is the Rambam. So I posted a lavi olecha or le'ima. You only have to. It's only possible. Sorry, we're back to the last one. Tes. Aval imheil lekraveh. If he testified for her craving, dig because of imheid. Shuloshan diavad. He already testified, right? Halachatchilas for the Rambam. To asa lailan, it's asa to be made. You hear there's an issa edus. You ever heard of such a thing? It works, but it's asa to do. Chiddush, no? You ever heard there's an issa edus?
Well,
You're allowed to, it works, testimony works, but it's also.
unfortunately, there's a situation where if the shidduch breaks off, they were never related. So it's not exactly, they're not exactly that close.
The Rosh says, not only is it not also, but lechatchila you should be made. You could, you should.
No, should.
No, you should. It's a mitzvah. Mitzvah lahayed, right?
Oh, Mr. Howard, yeah.
So take a look in. Hold on. Okay, weiter. No. Keep going. Yud. We're stepping on the gas station. Zesha pasta Torah edus hakrovim. The Torah says krovim can't testify, right? Lo mipnei shehem becheskes ayavim. Don't think chas v'shalom that they love each other.
God forbid.
That's not why you can't testify. Lo mipnei shehem becheskes ayavim zezeh. There's no cheskes ayavim. Shari p'sun lahid loi ben eschusa ben lechavosai. If there'd be a cheskes ayavim, then you'd let the guy testify lechavosai, right? Even Moshe Aaron can't testify. I'm not sure he's trying to bring a right from Moshe Aaron. That it's not because of Becheskes Ayavim. What, they didn't love each other? What's he saying?
The Gemara says the Achim, I would have thought Moshe Aaron.
Because it's not Chashash Sheker. That's the good here. Even because it's Chashash Sheker. So you see, there's no Chashash Sheker. Even Moshe Aaron, there's no Chashash Sheker. But still also. Take a look in the Sma. Yud. So, Ator, with me, Sma. Ator, Sim V'Kosav, Lefichach, Ayvesayin Shem Lahayid. Therefore, Ayvesayin is allowed to be made.
Said that before.
Right, and this is where the Torah gets it from. So this is how we know that Ayvesayin can testify. Because brothers aren't apostle because they're Ayavim, otherwise you wouldn't need a pasuk. You'd say, hey, they're Ayavim, they're apostle. Right? Must be the Ayavim saying now are allowed to testify. From Moshkos Brei Simon's there. You hear his raya?
Not very clear, that.
He's saying, look, if Ayav the Saina would be allowed to testify, would be also to testify, or would they need a pasuk, old Joshua, Layim Sovas Abanim, to tell me that brothers can't testify? We'll say, brothers love each other, they can't testify.
Yeah.
You need a pasuk, is because Ayav is allowed to testify. Yeah?
And not brothers who are Gzeis Kosovo, not allowed. Yeah.
So why can't brothers testify? Is it because they love each other? No.
Gzeis Kosovo.
There's a Kosovo. Hoe kom je graag acheres? Wat is alleen maar die time bij de psalm over hoe Mishum Ayavim Ayav Pasal Edis. He's saying something different. I didn't understand like this. He's saying if the psul of Korva would be because of Ayavim, so guess what? The din would be Ayavim and Pasal Ayad. If the din of Korva is possible because of Ayavim, right? So why can Ayavim testify? So since it's not because the time of the psul kurva who b'shum ayavim have ayv pasal ayid, so it must be that it's not because of ayavim.
If it would have been purely because of love.
Well, the time do kasha. We know ayavim are kasha lahayid. Therefore, it's going to do with ava.
Can I ask a klotz kasha? Two brothers who have never seen each other.
Yeah, pasal.
They got no connection, but they have faces. Even though one of them's in America.
There's a kasha. There's exclusive.
No, even though the logic is not there, it's not a logic problem.
Why, they've got the same DNA.
Yeah, that's all. Like your brother comes from Australia, you've never met.
You got the same DNA.
Yeah,
right.
That doesn't matter
There's
whether
a connection there, I guess.
Yeah, whether or not you have connection, you have connection.
Says the Shulchan Aruch. Yudav. Okay, Hagerim. Someone converted Me'akum from Avedas Kechavim.
Where else? Where else?
Okay. Hagerim Me'akum, Elem Kurva. They're not related. Meaning, Afilu Shnei Achim To'imim. Two brothers, two identical twins. Shinis Gairu. He has a big chiddush. I didn't know they knew how it worked way back then. But you have two brothers, Shinis Gairu. They're both from Megayer. Medium Zelzeh, they're allowed to testify on each other. They're not brothers. The Geshin is a guy who cut the Shnei Dami. No one argues. There's no Ramah here. Gerim are allowed to testify.
In the Torah, the brother and sister can marry. Also, Gary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but halach is not. We don't allow brothers and sisters to get married.
They go gonna sma. The Gershon is guy got the Schneider. Says the sma. Beis Yosef nistapek. What? Beis Yosef has a suffix of what? Kashay Rasa and Shalei B'Kedusha. Finis Gaira Imik Shasem Oberes. She conceived when she was a goy. Then, when she's pregnant, she converts. The older B'Kedusha, she has the babies when she's already a Tyra Yid. And they make a bris and the whole thing, she's already a Yid. Yigamka Mikra Gerim. Stam the Tinnik Kodesh Noradami. If they were born when she was already Jewish, are they called Kodesh Noradami? Oilai. The basis is
When they were born, are they considered as if they were born? Are they related to, or are they
Yeah,
related
it's
to
like
their
a
mother?
cut shenolad.
That's why so they bring a riot from the Chazal. It's like Kodesh Noradami, meaning that it has to be that he wasn't born. He was born already. Otherwise, it was a Kodesh Noradami mean. We'll see. We'll get there. It's a good shaila. But here, he seems to be mistopic. Like, it doesn't seem to be a suffix to me. Once if his mother's Jewish when she gives birth, then he's a Yid. No?
Well, that's the question.
He doesn't
Does she
have
have
to
to be a yid when she gives birth or when she gets pregnant?
Right. So Beis Yosef isn't stopping. Why? I don't know.
Because the whole conceivement was as a guy.
So, when do you look at the guy? When does he become a Yid? When
So
he's born?
what's changed? What's changed?
So Beis Yosef isn't stopping. Let's learn the sugya. It gets a bit complicated.
If the father was Jewish, that'd be different.
Nah.
We don't care if the father's Jewish or not. Okay.
They go to Chabad house. That's a
But Darke Moshe Heviyah, the Darke Moshe brings him, because of Olav, the Binin Kanken Shele Dos and Shlebe Kedusha. Darke Moshe says, you need that when she gave birth, she was a goy. For him to be considered a ger and not related to his brother. She gairu atzman acha shenodu. Miu, be'echad mehen shenoyle b'ge Yusuf and his gaya sagi. You don't need both brothers to be born to be goyim. It's enough that one of them is a goy and a ger, right? You don't need both brothers to be gerim. As long as one's a ger, they're not related, right?
Sorry.
He can testify his brother is a
So if
yid.
they're twins,
If they're
You got
twins,
twin brothers.
How can they one be a guy and one be not be a guy?
Very simple, right? They just had a case now. She gave birth to one twin in January. The second twin came out 2 months later.
Wow.
Right? In the meantime, she's a Megaya. So one brother is a Yid, one brother's a Ger.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
not that she was Megaya, but the
She was-
twins
she-
born apart.
I don't know if it ever happened, but yeah, she could be Megaya between the two babies coming out.
No. My question is there a 2-month pause?
Tell you what happened,
between
exactly what
births?
happened. She's giving birth, the first kid. It's like, wow, that was a terrible labor. I want to do the bath labor, right? You know, they give her the- so she goes to the
Underwater
bath,
bath.
and then they're like, you know what, you're here, you might as well be Megaya. And they, second baby comes out Yid. Twins, one's a Yid, one's a Goy. Why not?
One was white, one was black.
Unbelievable story.
That happened. That's
Give,
not a
give
joke.
birth
That
in the
happened.
mikveh.
Really?
Yeah.
Baby comes out already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the husband couldn't believe it.
Oh my goodness.
It was his kids, but he wouldn't accept it.
Right,
I don't remember this.
Okay, so says the Darke Moshe that what look at the reason. As long as one of them is Zubas time, as long as one of them is a goy, they're not related. Says the Shach Yudalef. The Gershon is guy cutting Shredam. Look at the top of the page. Kosovo Asma. The Beis Yosef didn't stop it. The Beis Yosef doesn't know the din if she gave birth when she was a yid, but she was impregnated, she conceived when she was a goy. Okay. Perish Rash Saif Masech Shvius Muchach Behedja, the Loshen is Gairu, the Rash has Mufurish, right? Loshen is Gairu, Loi Mashma Ele Beger, Shaisele Dosai, Shaloi Bikdusha, Ad Karashainoi, Mevia Bach. What's a Ger? The Rash has Mufurish in Masech Shvius, that Ger is someone, they Dosai, Shaloi Bikdusha. When she gave birth, she had to be a goy. I don't care what happened when she conceived. Right? As long as the lady has to be goy. Right?
If the lady is goy,
Then the kid's a goy. If the lady's a
then
yid,
she obviously didn't.
if the lady's a yid, then she's a yid. Then the kid's a yid.
The baby can't be a yid.
Right up. If the lady was she's a yid, I don't care when she conceived she was a goy. It all goes basa the later. The conception is nothing.
All right.
Says the Shach, there's no suffix to me either way, even without this rush. Why? Since we say in Peglis Barif of a rush, it says Haisai Rosan Shalei Bikdusha, but it doesn't Bikdusha. Chayav requires for Shemesa Shach. So what's the case there? Someone sleeps with his brother's wife, but his brother was Harosa Shalei Bikdusha, but it doesn't Bikdusha, right? Our case, where she was Megaya and then she gave birth. She was pregnant, she's Megaya, and then she gives birth. So they're both Yidden. Both brothers are Yidden, and you give the guy Skila, Chayav and Koris. We're on the same page. So you see Befurish, that it all goes boss at the Leda. You don't care about the conception. So he's bringing a raya from the Gemara in Yuvamas, and that's the Riv Rosh Rambam Ulpaskin, the three Gdolei Ra. So what on earth is the base of the topic in? He says, this is the case. Two brothers, one sleeps with his brother's wife, but guess what? His mother was Megaya when she was pregnant. So is he a goy or is he a ger? Is it his real brother or not? His mother was Megaya when she was pregnant. So do you say he's a ger or is he a yid?
You already said he's a yid.
So says the Gemara, he's a yid. It's his real brother. And he's chayv kares. So why is there a suffix over here, B'chal?
It's the older brother or the younger brother?
Why nafkamina?
So if she was Megaya.
So
the older brother's a goy.
Yeah.
Must be the older brother.
One's for sure a yid. It doesn't matter who did it. One's a yid. One's for sure a yid because she was conceived and gave birth after 10 years later when she was a yid for 10 years.
Right.
The first brother, the older brother, she converted in the middle. Right? When he was born, he was already a yid. By the way, it's very common. I know a lot of Gerim whose mothers converted when they were pregnant. Right. Are they Gerim or are they Yidden?
So
the answer is, the Gemara says, they're 100% Yidden. And the brother's 100% his brother, and it's Eishazach. Right? That's the Rif Rosh Rambam, they all say, Eishazach. It's Mamash, you're a Yid, 100%. So what is the basis suffix over here? What's his fakers? וכן כוסף הרמב"ם פרק י"ד בהלכות איסורי בריאה והוא פשוט ומוסכם בכל הפסקים כמו שהסבר בי"ד סימן רס"ט סעיף ד' אם כן פשיטא דפסולים דרייסה. His brother who is a Sophic Yid לפי what's called פשוט פוסק מדרייסה ומיידה בין הפרק בייס יבום זה עדס דבייס בסורה היינו בפסולי דרבנו וזה בר. Okay, his פשוט is דרייסה 100%. So what's the Sophic by based in? That it says Eidus leBeisin Masura. Beisin can decide about an Eidus. So they can decide if this guy's Yids or a Goy. They've got that koyach, whatever that means. Okay? Says, now this is, take a look in the Behetiv. Yudalef. Second line in the Behetiv. Shinus Gayer. Kosav Asma. That Beisin is in his Dapik. Because she wasn't like Kedusha, but it wasn't Kedusha. In the case where she was Megaya when she was pregnant, he's got a suffix. Going, she's Gaira Imay Muberes. Okay? Yigab can make a game stop. They didn't Kodesh Nerdam Yaloi. But Darkim Maisha Aviyah, the Darkim Maisha brings the base of his stopek. Because of all of the Be'inan she hey Gari Dosai Shaloi Bikdusha. Base says there's a suffix.
Only works
if the Be'inan she hey Gari Dosai Shaloi Bikdusha, she has to be a Goya also when she gave birth. It's enough if one of them was a ger. Okay. Vashach Kosov. Now, in the first white line in the Behek, Vashach Kosov, the Lakers there is no suffix. There's zero suffix. There's no tzad the other way. There's no suffix bechal. The mashon is bar b'yodeh siman reis amachtes. By the way, there's a huge nafkamina, right? Nafkaminas, forget about Edus, forget all these things. This guy, is he either a goy?
Yeah.
This guy, his mother was Megaya when she was pregnant. Does he have to keep Torah? Can he say, when he's 13 years old, I'm not interested in this stuff. I'd rather be, Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach Yid. Sheva Mitzvah Noach Goy. Right? For some reason, they don't seem to be addressing that issue. Okay.
I've been to bas mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs when the child said, "I now have a choice, and
You
I
don't
choose
go.
to be."
He said it.
Yeah, the girl said it. I remember that.
I know someone that said no, don't want it. Uh-huh. I know someone that the kid said no, they don't want to be here. Well, they moved to England, they live like a goy, and that's it. Yeah. Actually, someone pretty famous is his daughter. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sure we know this.
so says the Behativ. B'shach kosav the nearly the Lakers fake club is there. The Mashas Babi this and Rishon. That's so that the Shnei Achim Toimim, twin brothers. Shaisa Iros and Shalei Gdush Lazim Gdusha. She was Megar, she's pregnant. The Chayam Gdush and Rishon. In Game Pshita, the person the rice. Atkan Shainai. The adds the Behativ. Velefi Masha Kosavti Sifkat and base. The Gabba Eda Shiny like Hashem Midi.
What that mean?
He hasn't got a kasha. The whole shach he blew away. Why? What's he saying? He's saying Edis is different to Surrey Bia. You can't bring a right from a Surrey Bia. Of course, maybe they're also the Bia. But the whole thing of Edis is that Basin has a chakach to decide who's a Bkar, who's apostle. So then, therefore, this whole right goes out the window. Here, Basin can decide. Chazal can decide. Okay. Let's take a look in the Beis Yosef. This deserves taking a look in the Beis Yosef.
There was somebody here. This fella's here told us a story. He had a guest for Shabbos, whose guest's name was Gold.
Reish Nun Zayin in the Beis Yosef.
No relation. She had an affair with a Turk. Then she became from.
Reish Nun Zayin.
What do you do? I mean, are you Visa? I mean, he was Jewish. Nothing changed.
Yeah, in the first chelik, in the Torah. In the first part of the Gemara. First part of the chelik Aleph of the Torah. In the Torah. Reish Nun Zayin.
Are we a chassan?
I think we're going to get to the Lamda parts. Otherwise, how long it will take to get here. Hagerim ein lahem nun zayin. Reish Nun Zayin.
Skipping this one?
5 pages.
We did it already.
I mean, we can learn the whole simon, but we'll start with the Beis Yosef. Take a look at the Beis Yosef. Third paragraph. Lamed Daled. Yeshem hagerim ein lahem kurva. Right? Some people say the gerim have no mishpachology. Sorry, it's not Yeshem. Simon Yudalef. Gerim ein lahem mishkurva. Okay? So Perik based the Yevam stuff of base on the Amar of Nachman. Gerim. Hayil v'osu leidan. Hayil v'osu yadan. Gerim. Since they came to us, name a boo. Let's tell the Milsa. We should tell them this. Achim min ha'eim la'idu. If they're brothers from the mother, they shouldn't testify. If they have the same mother, they can't testify. V'mi'idu edus and edus. But if they did testify, it works. Achim av made the chatchila. If they've only got the same father, they could testify. Why? Because they don't know who their father is, right? A guy doesn't know who his father is. Maybe. Amema Amar. What? Afilu achim aim namim idim. Even if they've got the same mother, they can testify. Lechatchila. Right? Even this is how we pass it, obviously. Even if they've got the same mother, they're twins. They're coming out of the same stomach, right? Afilu achim aim namim lechatchila. Maishna me'erva. The Amahasa Yetzi Erva Lachol Masura, Edis the base din Masura. Sorry, Erva Lachol Masura. Edis is the base of Masura. What's the difference? Erva, everyone has to know about, I guess. Everyone deals with it. Edis, only the Dayan deal with it. Vigeshin is Guy, Kotish Dami. And when a ger is Megayer, he's like a newborn. Upirish Rashi, what does it mean, Erva Lachol Masura? What's that all talking about? Here's Rashi. Everyone gets married. If you let this guy be married, you're going to end up letting an Erva, Yisrael marry an Erva. Why? Not everyone knows that this guy is a Geshes guy. They'll see this guy married his sister, and you think, oh, you can marry your sister. People are going to know, when he became a ger, it's like he's a newborn, and she's no longer a sister. Right? So people get confused. So you don't want people to go marry their sister. I guess what it means is you might not go to Basin, because if he goes to Basin, the Rav's going to say, you can't marry your sister, but stuff might happen between the two. He's thinking that you can marry your sister. Look, your uncle, who just was the guy who's married the sister, in that case, I can be with my sister, right? You don't want people to be with their sister and thinking that you're allowed to be with your sister.
I'm not buying that video, that's for sure.
I don't believe it. Edus the based in Misura, meaning who deals with Edus? Only the Dayanim. Edus the based in Misura. So there's no chashasha the based are going to make this mistake. You're not going to end up letting Jewish brothers be made. The base in Yadi, the Geshes guy, so that's how Rashi explains the Gemara. Rashi is saying like this: why can brothers testify, but they can't marry each other? Why can't a goy marry a sister, but he can't testify with his sister? What's the difference? Because if the goy marries his sister, some guys, Amaratim, going to make a mistake. But if he testifies with his sister, what's going to happen? Basically, they think you can testify with your sister. Basically, no, you can't. When a guy comes to be made, basically will say, sorry, buddy, it's your sister. But how come this goy testify with his sister? Basically will say, because Geshes guy, they know the din. They don't know this. They're not going to make mistakes. Right? Hopefully. Ad kana shaynai. Opek neisim ala nusa amorava. Had amarabanon ein avlegoy. It says that goy doesn't have a father, right? Labishum the shtifi bezimra the loyadi, not because goyim are all mezana and he doesn't know who his father is.
So they're making a hekesh between Goyim and Schwarzers?
No, chayra not.
What? Going to what?
The goyim have the same thing as Schwarzers.
Well, they say the worst day in Williamsburg by the Schwarzes is Father's Day.
Father's Day. Yeah. Pregnant one is Omarava. Had the Omarabanon ein avlegoy.
Labishum.
Labishum the Shivizim Layadi, they don't know who the father is. Aval Yadi, they know who the father is. Chayshinan. Eladia Chayshinan. Ela fila the Yadi Nami Lay Chayshinan. The Shnei Achim Toimim, the Tipa Achasi. Did you know that they knew this back then? It says the Beis Yosef, what's Toimim? Twin brothers. We know who the father is. You know you've got the same father. Why? The Tipa Achasi, they came from the same drop. The drop splits into two. The zygote splits into two. What is it? It says you don't do chalitza on your brother. If he was a ger, v'lei mi'abmin. Vuadin in Edus. Also with Edus, the lech shivi kurva did too. It's not because we don't know who the brother is. It's not because maybe it's not his real brother. It's his real brother. He's identical twins from the same drop of semen. Rakma, it's not called kurva. It's kodesh noyladami. Venerally, the Hainu Davka Kshaisai Rosam, venerally, this is the diak. This is the whole, they're going to town on the Beis Yosef, and there's one word here, I think. Venerally, I think, the Hainu Davka Kshaisai Rosam Velidosam Shaloi B'Kedusha. That's only if the whole thing was when she was a goy. When the Fochas Leidas Achad Mehem Velidosam Shaloi B'Kedusha, at least one of them was given birth when she wasn't Jewish. At least one of them, she never was Megaya before he was born. For Lishna Achidik, the Geshes Gai Koshanayadami, that's what the Losh of Geshes Gai Koshanayadami means. Alma Hirosai, Viledosai Shlei B'Kedusha. She wasn't Megaya B'Chlal. Avalim Leida Shneim B'Kedusha, if they were given birth when she was Megaya when she was pregnant, Alfa Pisha Rosam Shlei B'Kedusha, even though they were conceived when she was a Goy, Harihim Achim Mina Ein. They are considered Achim Mina Ein. Upsili Midrabanan. Like who? Like we saw. Achim Mina Ein are only possible Midrabanan. I think it's the Rambam we saw, right? For Efsha, the Kivin, the Edus, the based in Mesura, since based in decide on Edus, Kosh Ein Hiras Shneim Veledosam B'Kedusha, if they weren't born as Yidden, Shem They are kosher. Kevin the Eidus the Basin Masura, since Basin gets to decide, Kol Shein Hayros Shneim Velidosim Bikdusha, if she wasn't Jewish when she gave birth, Ksherim Heim Lahid, the mom, the goy 100% they could testify. Velishna the Nisgaya Shaykh Afil in Nisgaya Imai Kishahaisim Beres. The Lashon of Geshin Nisgaya, what does it mean? Afil in Nisgaya Imai Kishahaisim Beres Vitzarchian. So he's using these Lashainus of Venirali, Fa'efsha, Vitzarchian. He's not coming across like, so, Poshet. They saying the Ramah brings him and says he's Nestapic, he's got a suffix. Okay, I don't really see it, he's so Nestapic. He says Venirali. Take a look in the Dachimaish, one line over here. Opir Shabbeinu Shimshon, Seif Perek B'Sechah Shvius, Mechich Behedya, the Lashon is Gairu, Le'mashma Ele Begesh, Oisele Dosa Shle Bikdosha. He's only Ger if his mother didn't convert.
He said it already. This is the Rash.
Yeah, this is the Rush. So we saw the Shach brings this. The Ramaz answers. It's Mefresh Rash. Mefresh Rash, that's the din.
We continue.
One second. Did we finish this? Let's just see this mishpat. Okay, yeah. We should move forward. Yeah, let's see the next one. Okay, that's the din of Kodesh Gashanoi. Okay, Yud Beis. 1 second. We're back in the Shulchan Aruch.
That's
Beis Daled.
Yud Beis. Call me she'ein ata meid lai. Anyone you can't testify. If you baal krivascha. If you can't testify against someone because it's your wife's father, brother, sister, mother, it may say ishdai. If she dies, even if they have kids, it's irrelevant. A person can't testify for his father-in-law, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, sister-in-law. But once his wife dies, so then that's it, right? Now he can testify. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. What about if he gives her a get?
She's not dead.
Let's take a look in the,
No more.
1 second, Yud Beis. Where is this? We'll keep going. Hold on. Ramah. Mihu im nifsakadin kishahaya karayv la yochal lachzer toivay achakach beidu zesh nisrachek tohayo v'nifsakadin nifsak. What's he saying?
Finished.
Let's say he wanted to testify for his wife, but he couldn't because he's his wife, right? His wife's his father-in-law. Yeah. He goes to Beis Din, he can't testify. The din's paskind. They paskind.
Now he can.
Now can testify afterwards. Now he can testify. Now his wife dies, he can testify. Now your wife dies, you can testify. But too bad, they already paskind. Too late. Make sense?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Because the psak already, it doesn't matter what happens now.
I can't find it. The Shach says even if he gave her a get. I can't find it. Where's the Shach?
Okay.
Even if he gave her a get, he can no longer... Here, take a look at the Be'etev. I can't find it, see it in the Shach. Take a look at the Be'etev, Yud Beis. We'll finish with this one. Yud Beis. Mesa. Nira Duha din Nizgash Shach. even once he's Megarisha, he could testify. I mean, that's a bit of a chiddush, right? It's a massive chiddush. His wife has a massive court case, right? You know, okay.
And you can't give ages because
You can't give ages because she's your wife, she's your shver. Okay, I'll divorce her, I'll be married, and I'll marry her back tomorrow. You know, Shach says no problem, you can testify. Once he's Megarisha, he can testify.
What if them changes their mind?
Huh?
One of them changes their mind to get not married again.
They could, right? It's probably going to happen, right? But again, once he's divorced, that's it. There's no longer a relationship. You know, he might remarry her. Okay, you can marry anyone. So then you can't testify for any single woman. Maybe you're going to marry her, right?
can I make a suggestion which you're not going to like? Go to Moiches Forum.
Yeah.
There must be a sikkum of all these halachas. Whoever it is, buy it. I'll pay for it. Just purely to know the outcome, the halacha of the matter. It's worth knowing, purely for, what's the word?